Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and I have a new idea for a what if. This is called what if Naruto was an adolla burst. So he will have Shinra's ability, light speed. And if any of you don't know what an adolla burst is, just go and watch Fire Force and you'll understand. Fire Force is an amazing series. I loved it so much, and I cannot wait for season 2 or the second half of season 1. It might be one of those animes where the season is split in two, so they do half of the season and then they have a hiatus and then they come back with the same season. Like that happened with Food Wars season 3. It had the part 1 and then part 2. So this is part 1 of what if Naruto was an adolla burst. So as a kid, once Naruto was born and his parents died, Christian and Minato did seal the nine tails inside of him. Naruto started glowing a bit, but then he stopped. So once Naruto was getting bullied when he was 4 years old, and he let out some fire from his body, from his feet, and he kicked the boy onto on his face, and the boy cried out loud because he got burnt. He had a burn mark on his face, and Naruto got in trouble for it. But the third Hokage wasn't really surprised that that kid did have it coming after bullying Naruto, but he was more surprised that Naruto was able to use fire, what they call a Kekkei Genkai. They would think it's a Kekkei Genkai, but then Naruto will find out it's an adolla burst. I'll make that happen. You guys just have to wait for it. So Naruto is getting asked about his powers by the third Hokage, and the third Hokage asks him, "So Naruto, how did you use that fire power from your feet?" And Naruto said, "Well, the kids were bullying me and I got really angry, and then I just kicked them. I don't know, I just spun around and then kicked them." And Hiruzen's like, "Can you show me that again?" And Naruto says, I'm not sure how I did it." Naruto will learn how he does it because Hiruzen will ask Naruto if he wants to train to develop that power and make it into a power that he can use in a fight if he ever becomes a ninja. And Naruto's really excited about this. So him and Naruto and Hiruzen trained for the next 2 years, so until Naruto 6, till midway his training when he was 5 years old. Naruto did train in a ninjutsu and other things, so he does know the shadow clone jutsu because Hiruzen realized Naruto can't do the clone jutsu, and he knows different jutsus. And one day when Naruto was 5, he was having a sparring session with Hiruzen, and he was frustrated that he kept losing. So Naruto let out his true power, the adolla burst, which surprised Hiruzen, and Hiruzen wasn't expecting it, so he did get beaten a bit until Hiruzen decided to stop the fight by knocking out Naruto because he realized Naruto is not that good at controlling it. So the next day arrives and Naruto is training again with Hiruzen, but this time Naruto tries to use the adolla burst. He doesn't know about it, but he remembers the feeling of it. He felt a tingly feeling and a warm feeling on his feet when he did it. And Naruto tries it again and fire starts coming out of his feet. So Naruto can now fly. Well, not fly, he can just burst into the air with his fire. And his speed is amazing, but the Hiruzen's speed is too much. Well, Hiruzen's faster than Naruto because Naruto's still a kid, but when Naruto will become 12, he will be faster. Just as fast as Hiruzen. I know that might sound a bit too overpowered, but this is my what if. So I'm gonna make that Naruto, because I want to have a bit of difference between Naruto and Shinra. I'm gonna make Naruto's Adolla burst blue. So Naruto has blue fire, and whenever he uses the Adolla burst, his fire is blue, and he lets out blue steam. So whenever Naruto uses his Adolla burst, he lets out blue steam. Kakashi is told about this, and he is really intrigued by it, and he asks the third Hokage if he can fight Naruto. Just a little sparring session when Naruto's 7, right before he enters the academy. Well, Naruto is not going to... Well, I'm gonna say he does, because Naruto only knows ninjutsu and taijutsu and genjutsu. I know it's everything that you need to learn in the academy, but Naruto still doesn't know the history of the village and everything. So Hiruzen still wants Naruto to learn. Naruto is kind of like the Naruto in my What If Naruto took his ninja life seriously. So he is more serious about studies, but that's because Hiruzen has taught him. So Kakashi and Naruto do spar, and Naruto realizes that he has no chance against Kakashi if he doesn't go all out. And Kakashi is like, hey Naruto, you can go all out against me. I'm not scared. Well, I'm not going to get hurt. Naruto does go all out, and Kakashi realizes he messed up by telling Naruto that he's not going to get hurt, because he got kicked in the face so hard he flew a few kilometers, and then Kakashi just ends the fight really quickly by using his Sharingan and blitzing Naruto and taking Naruto out. So now Kakashi says, I've seen your powers, thank you for the sparring session. As a reward, I will buy you ramen. And Naruto's so happy, so they go out for ramen, and Naruto eats like 4 bowls while Kakashi eats 1.5, and he gives the other half to Naruto because he can't eat anymore. So then Kakashi asks the third Hokage if he can start training Naruto, and he wants to see if Naruto can do other like actual ninjutsu and that. And he wants to teach Naruto as his own student, because Naruto has the personality of Obito, and he feels that if he helps Naruto fulfill his dream of becoming Hokage, maybe he's repenting for letting Rin die when he promised Obito. But of course that's not going to happen, because Obito's still alive. So Naruto trains a lot with Kakashi over the next 2 years. So Naruto's now, let's say, 9, and he is going to the academy, learning a lot of new things about the Hokages in the past, and the wars, and all the people, and a lot of new jutsus. Not jutsus like, because you only learn like 3. I think it's the substitution jutsu. You learn the substitution or whatever. You don't need to know. There's no need to mention that because it's irrelevant. No one uses those jutsus when they're actual ninjas. So Naruto doesn't really learn many jutsus, but he has Kakashi to teach him. And he isn't the dead last, so he won't be in Team 7. Yes, but no. Should I make him the dead last? Sorry guys, I didn't really put that in my script, and now I'm just realizing if I should put him in as the dead last. I'll say Naruto still wants to be the dead last because he doesn't want to show how good he is, but he doesn't pull pranks. He's just bad at studying. That's what he shows. But in reality, he is pretty much the top of the class. So now a few more years pass, and Naruto has developed his Adolla burst, and realizes he can go even faster sometimes, but that drains a lot of his chakra. Yes, Naruto has to use chakra instead of energy. Well, he uses energy and chakra, so it's kind of a downfall. But Naruto can't overdo it because of his immense chakra. Like, you know when in Fire Force, if you overuse your power, you do I forgot the name. Wait. So Naruto is able to overuse his Adolla burst, unlike in Fire Force, where if you overuse it, you can't use it as well as you can once you use it too much. I forgot how to say it, but I couldn't find it when I searched up, and I don't really want to watch the whole series again to find the episode. So Naruto is now 12, and he does pass the academy test. A few years pass and he passes. So Naruto is still in Team 7, of course. And the music incident does occur, but Naruto is not the one who steals the scroll, but he finds the kid because he uses his adolla burst to make the search faster, so he can see from the sky. So Naruto does find him in the forest and asks him why, and he tells him that Mizuki told him that if he learns a jutsu from the scroll, he will become a genin. And Naruto tells him there are no shortcuts to becoming a ninja, so you should just try harder. And the genin's like, okay Naruto. And Naruto's like, hey, give me the scroll so I can give it back to the Hokage. So now Naruto, then Mizuki appears, and Naruto decides to take care of Mizuki because Naruto is probably like high tuning level rank right now because of his adolla burst. Naruto blitzes Mizuki because he's angry that Mizuki would abuse his powers. He's abused his teacher. Well, Mizuki is a teacher, right? And he's abusing his powers to manipulate students to do what he can't do. So Naruto blitzes him and kicks him in the face. He roundhouse kicks him in the face. So basically, he flies up to him really fast, so blitzes him, and then spins around just like Shinra does and kicks him with the back of his foot so hard that Mizuki goes flying and breaks a few trees, and Mizuki is out cold. So Iruka sees this and congratulates Naruto and tells him to give him the scroll, and Naruto does give him the scroll because he really doesn't need to learn anything from it, even though he wants to, but he can't. He does follow the rules more now, and Naruto does head back, and the next day the teams are announced. Like I said, he's in Team 7. All the teams are the same, and they do still have to wait, but Naruto already knows that, so he heads out because he knows that his sensei is Kakashi sensei, because of Iruka this time actually telling them who their sensei is. So now Naruto decides to head out to just go eat. So he flies out, and Sakura still tells him, "Where are you going, Naruto?" She shouts out from the window, and because Naruto doesn't really have friends, he doesn't really care, and Sakura still hates him, of course. Even though he wasn't as annoying, she just hates him because everyone else, because her parents told her to not get close to Naruto. So Naruto's flying to Ichiraku Ramen, and he sees Kakashi just walking around reading. He's sitting on a bench and reading his book. So Naruto knows that Kakashi will be reading it for another 1 hour or two. So he eats. He says bye to Ichiraku, or the man. I think his name is Ichiraku, and his daughter, and he heads to Kakashi. And Kakashi did notice Naruto flying, and he's like, I don't really care, I'd rather read my book. And Naruto does land next to Kakashi and says, "So Kakashi sensei, when are you going to go meet your new students?" And Kakashi's like, "Oh yeah, I just got lost into my book." And Naruto's like, yeah, how about we just go now? So Naruto says that he will go with Kakashi, so Kakashi doesn't get lost in the path of life, because Naruto knows he always does that. So Naruto accompanies him, and Kakashi is like, "Oh god damn it, I want to read my book a bit more," but well, it's too late now. So they do head back to the academy, and Kakashi does take them to the roof. He already knows Naruto's dreams, but he asks Naruto to say them again, and Naruto says them again. So he does tell them about the bell test and that tomorrow they shouldn't eat. But Naruto this time he actually listens to Kakashi because he trusts Kakashi, but Kakashi really didn't want to tell Naruto about this test, or they were going to pass easily. He was just going to convince the other two to work as a team. So the next morning arrives. They're there by 7 a.m. and they have to wait all the way for 5 hours, and Kakashi arrives at noon. So the Kakashi sees all of them hungry, and he realizes his plan worked. So now Naruto is realizes that he's not going to be able to fight at full strength since he's hungry. So the bell test starts, and Kakashi tells them they have to take the bells, and there's only 2 of them. That's all. And Sakura notices that and says there's only 2 though, and Kakashi says yes, only 2 of you will pass. And Sakura's like, that's not fair. And then Kakashi says the ninja life isn't fair, is it? People die. Do you think that's fair? And Sakura's like, yeah, alright. So Sakura thinks she's gonna pass with Sasuke because to them Naruto is the dead last. So once Kakashi starts here, Naruto does make a shadow clone and gets kicked on purpose. He could just use his adolla burst and dodge by flying away, but he gets kicked on purpose and he makes a shadow clone to go fight. And then the shadow clone does jump out and start using his adolla burst. So Kakashi does notice it's a shadow clone because it's like it has half Naruto's strength what he felt initially. So Naruto is searching for his teammates, and he finds them, and he tells them that this test is all about teamwork and they have to work as a team. But they don't listen to him, and Naruto's like, we have to work as a team. They didn't really notice Naruto's adolla burst because they were still trying to hide. And Naruto's clone does get taken care of by Kakashi, and then he convinces both of them after 10 minutes of persuading them, and he gives them their plan. So Sakura, you will be our decoy. And Sakura's like, why should I be the decoy? You should be the decoy. And Naruto says, come on Sakura, we need to work as a team. And she's like, and then Sasuke's like, yeah Sakura, we really should, because Sasuke did notice that Naruto was really just slacking off, but he did see Naruto training a few times, and he realizes that Naruto is much stronger than Sakura because he actually trains. And Sakura's like, okay Sasuke, because she loves Sasuke. And now Naruto tells Sasuke that once Sakura starts throwing kunais at Kakashi and then starts running towards him, you will come in and use a fireball jutsu or any of your techniques. He says any of your jutsus that you know, because Naruto does know that Sasuke is basically the best in the class, and he realizes that he did see Sasuke using the fireball jutsu just once while he was trying to go to the forest, where he was meant to meet up with Kakashi to train a bit. So, and then Sasuke asks what Naruto's gonna do, and Naruto says, as soon as I see an opening, I'm gonna attack Kakashi. And they say alright, and the plan begins. So Sakura does do the thing, and Sasuke does attack Kakashi, and Kakashi is really impressed by Sasuke's taijutsu, and he notices that Sakura is trying to attack him too. So he kicks Sakura away, and he makes a clone, and he goes after Sakura. Sakura just tried to fight the clone off, but the clone puts her in a genjutsu. And so then Naruto appears out of nowhere and kicks Kakashi's the real Kakashi, because the real Kakashi is fighting Sasuke. But what he really does is Naruto flies out of the trees with his adolla burst and blitzes Kakashi. Even though he notices him, he can't really dodge him because Naruto's way too fast right now. He has gained too much speed with his descent, and Naruto tells Sasuke to move out the way, and Sasuke does, because he realizes he barely does. Sasuke does still get burnt a bit. He has a little scar on his face, and Naruto kicks Kakashi in the face, and Kakashi poofs because it was just a substitution. So Naruto makes a clone and goes wake up Sakura by slapping her, and Sakura's like, why'd you slap me? And then Naruto's like, you were under a genjutsu. And then Sasuke's like, hey, Naruto, what did you just do with your feet? And Naruto's like, I'll explain later, let's first and then he turns around and says, let's first find Kakashi Sensei. And Kakashi appears right in front of Naruto, which startles him, and Naruto falls backwards and says, hey, that was. And then Kakashi's like, you will pass. Naruto's like, wait, what? Everyone's like, wait, what? And Kakashi says, this was all a test about teamwork. And they're like, and Kakashi says they showed that they can work as a team, and they're really happy they passed. And Kakashi's like, tomorrow we will go to the Hokage's office and we'll get our first mission. Now you can go home. And Naruto does go home, same with but this time he gets followed by Sasuke and says he still didn't explain to me what you just did. And Naruto's like, just leave me alone, and flies off with his adolla burst. I know Naruto uses his adolla burst around the village, but I'll just say that in these years Sasuke never really noticed him, because Naruto only flies when he has a time limit. Because let's just say Naruto doesn't want to be late to something, and sometimes he does fly to school, but that's because he's late. So no one really notices Naruto because he flies over the clouds and he always waits for the right moment to land, so when no one's looking, and he does land like that. So that's how not many people know about Naruto's adolla burst, or his Kekkei Genkai as they call it, because Naruto has been really cautious about it since the third Hokage did tell him. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, and I just realized it was in my script, but I didn't say it. I'm so sorry for it, and hope you can forgive me. Anyways, thank you for listening. I know this was a short part, but this was what if I've been thinking of doing for a while. I hope you all enjoyed it, and take care, stay safe, and peace.